The air was thick with the scent of engine oil and new paint. Under the bright glow of showroom lights, every inch of polished chrome on those Mercedes trucks gleamed like a mirror. A small group of executives laughed softly, their voices blending with the hum of luxury. And then the glass doors slid open. An old man stepped inside. His beard was long and silver, his cap frayed, his shirt carrying stains from years of hard work and long roads. He looked like a ghost from another world, a world of grit and dust, not glass and shine. Yet this moment, though no one knew it, was about to rewrite everything they thought they understood. He walked slowly, boots scuffing the spotless tiles, a worn backpack hanging from one shoulder. A few mechanics glanced his way. 3 women near the front desk exchanged puzzled looks. One of them, Miranda Heller, the manager, stood tall and confident, her silver hair glowing beneath the lights. The old man's eyes drifted across the trucks until he stopped before a massive white one. He ran his rough hand across the cool chrome and whispered, almost lovingly, "She's a beauty." Then, turning to face the stunned crowd, he said in a gravelly voice, "I'll take 5 of these." The room went silent, then rippled with laughter. Julia, the youngest clerk, tried to hide her giggle. Miranda smirked. "Sir, these aren't bicycles," she said. "Each of these costs more than most people make in a lifetime." The old man didn't flinch. "I know," he said quietly, "and I'll take 5. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that touch the heart, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to HQ Infinite Stories, where true emotions find their voice. Back in the showroom, the laughter continued, but Miranda felt a strange unease. The man didn't seem crazy or proud, just calm, certain. "Sir," she said, keeping her tone polite, "perhaps you're in the wrong place? There's a used truck lot down the road." He smiled faintly. "I'm in the right place," he replied. "But maybe you're seeing the wrong man." He walked toward the corner, poured himself a small cup of water, and stood quietly. No one noticed how steady his hands were, how sure his movements seemed. Those hands had once built engines from scrap metal, guided convoys through war zones, and buried a son who never came home. His name was Harold Brinley, once a respected engineer, soldier, husband. Life had taken everything from him, his wife, his company, his peace. But not his hope. For 5 long years, Harold saved every penny repairing trucks by the roadside, sleeping in workshops, eating from vending machines, all while nurturing a dream no one believed in, a transport company for those the world had forgotten veterans. Single mothers, the homeless people who just needed a reason to keep going, he called it second route logistics. And today was the day it would begin. Miranda had gone back to her desk when she looked up again and froze. Harold stood before her, holding out a neat pile of documents. "Here's my purchase order," he said. She frowned, skimming the papers. They were real, signed, stamped, and at the bottom her eyes widened. The signature belonged to the regional head of Mercedes Commercial Partnerships himself. How did you get this?" she asked. Harold smiled softly. "He was my student once, back when I taught mechanical logistics. I fixed his trucks before he had a company to run." The room went silent. The laughter that once filled the air now turned to shame. "You don't need to apologize," Harold said gently as Miranda and her staff struggled for words. "You only did what the world teaches, see with your eyes, not with your heart." Within the hour, every detail checked out. The payment was confirmed. Harold wasn't a dreamer, he was a builder. A man giving life to a dream born from loss. Later, as the sun dipped low, Miranda followed Harold to the delivery bay. "You know," she said quietly, "I judged you the moment you walked in. I saw your clothes and thought you were just another old man with a dream too big to be real." He looked at her, smiling. "Dreams don't shrink because people stop believing. They just wait for the right hands to rebuild them." He turned toward the gleaming trucks. "These machines won't just carry cargo. They'll carry hope for people who forgot what it feels like to start again." For the first time in years, Miranda felt something soften inside her. When the 5 trucks rolled out the next morning, driven by men and women who had been sleeping in shelters just days before, the whole town watched. The story spread like wildfire about the ragged man who walked into a luxury showroom and bought 5 trucks. Not for pride, but for purpose. A week later, a handwritten note arrived at the showroom. It said, "Thank you for the laughter." It reminded me how far I've come. Maybe kindness doesn't start with believing in others, but in giving them a chance to prove you wrong. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HQ Infinite Stories, where every story reminds us that compassion still drives the world forward. Tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Miranda's place that day? Would you have laughed? Or listened a little closer? Because sometimes the most extraordinary souls walk in wearing torn clothes and leave behind lessons that shine brighter than chrome.